Happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to the NonnaBoss Audits and Investigations. And today with me, I have an amazing LA auditor who is everybody's ray of sunshine, and we all have to just, throw her some major kudos, and she's got the voice of an angel. So welcome, Miss Mindy Willens, everybody.
Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of you to say.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. I mean, I just have so much, respect for all of you guys that are out there doing First Amendment auditing. And I just I just want to get everybody's story. How did you get started doing this? What triggered it for you?
I never thought it would come to where we're at right now at all. I saw a bunch of people in front of the Scientology building outside on Hollywood Boulevard, where I had lived really close by, and I just strolled up and asked what was going on, and gosh,
And here you are.
Where do I even go from that point? They thought it was a plant at first, and I really just wanted to. I saw that they were doing good work, and I just wanted to do what I could to make sure that they didn't have to stop. And how could I support? I thought I'd be like supplies girl and bring like chargers or signs or whatever. I don't know. I live nearby. Let them use the bathroom if they need. Just whatever. And it just kind of grew from there to the point where I was holding a sign for a long time. I never thought that I would ever even live stream, but I was getting a lot of emails because of people saying like, oh, I see how you're being treated with like that people calling you a plant and kind of trying to bully you out of there. And they're like, I tried to come help and I got that same treatment, and what you're doing is good, and keep doing it. And so I was like, wow, gosh, enough people are sending me messages like this that I should stand out here as like for all the people who feel like they can't come and help because they are worried about getting the same treatment that I was getting.
Right.
That they can stand next to me and they can come out and help. I'll be a beacon of welcome, including, I don't know if you've talked to Dan Walks LA.
Not yet.
He told
I'm
me
hoping.
He's the best. Anyway, I look forward to his interview with you one day. But he's come up to me and he says that I'm the reason that he's even out here, because he saw what I was going through. It worried him that he would get the same treatment. And he saw that he could, that he could be welcomed by me.
Right. So. Yeah, you persevered. You really did. I mean, we talk a lot about the people who are doing the actual streaming, right? The actual protesting. But there are a lot of people that are out there who, they drive by and they just try to help as much as they can. And be like, oh, bless you.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who are trying to be, supportive to all of you in the background and behind the scenes. I know that there's been people that have sent you guys pizzas and dropped off waters, and it's really a group effort. And when I say group effort, what I mean by that is all of us collective, this whole collective. My way to support you guys is to do what I'm doing right now, and some, behind the scenes research, right? So it's super important that we do kind of support you guys. But I understand you guys' point of view as well, because OSA messes with you guys so bad. You don't know who's a plant and who's not a plant. So I do understand that whole side of it as well.
Yeah, when it was happening, that's why I was just like, I'm just going to be consistent, and hopefully over time, I kept saying like, I'm happy to earn your trust over time.
Yeah, because that's the real truth finder, right? When you're out there, and through your consistency, they saw, oh, okay, you've earned our trust, and that's what it takes sometimes when they're doing what they're doing. And I get, like I said, I understand it completely, but I mean, I even have had some issues trying to book people to interview, because unfortunately I'm running into that same thing, because they don't know me. They don't know, I mean, I have a main channel that I've had for 2 years. and I started this channel specifically because I was so into this subject matter. And I'm running into that same thing where people are very cautious, which is understandable.
Yeah, and back to what you said about people supporting who are viewers out there that they can't be maybe feet on the ground out in front of the building or whatever. All of those ways of supporting are so appreciated. This is a volunteer position doing this is volunteer,
Yes.
entirely volunteer. So the support, even down to just like I was
Yeah.
walking out um protesting with a few other protesters, and I was like, oh, I'm really hungry. Oh no, I'm gonna stick it out. And then all of a sudden, pizza for Mindy. Like, what? And if you, I was saying this to my chat the whole time. I'm like, if you give to me, like it gets passed on. I'm like, anyone want pizza? Any of you guys?
Right.
So, and there are also like, don't eat the pizza. You don't know where it came. You know what I mean? There's like a lot
Yeah.
of that. Like people who don't like you are also watching.
Right.
And so, but I had confirmation that this pizza was from one of my supporters. So
Yeah.
that, made me comfortable to share it with everyone. But yeah, even sometimes there's pizza delivery and everyone's like, do we take the pizza? Is it poison pizza? You know what I
I
mean?
know. I know. Like yesterday when I was watching you you were out doing your walk and everything, and you mentioned you didn't have the case number. And I was like, oh, I know where it's at. And like,
Hive mind.
I went over there, I got it, I screenshot it, I sent you that case number. But
Right.
that's how it works. Like I swear you guys mention what it is you need, and there's like this huge I mean, this
Outpour
huge
of support.
collective. It's
Collective.
amazing.
Yes. Hive mind. You go.
Yes.
One mind is not enough. And
Yes.
I have this call to action, like going, I'm not the only one. It's not my call to action. It's a
Right.
helpful call to action to send in the clips,
Clips.
timestamps of
Yes.
the clips and stuff. So it's
Mhm.
like I can have an idea. Oh, it'd be great to have this collage of moments. Okay, let me start to do it. Oh, it'll take me forever, and I did all of mine. Don't say, oh, Mindy's sending me out to do all the work. I went through all of my own lives, every moment of them, and I did it. But like there's too much for one person. So hive mind,
Yeah.
guys, yeah, when I needed information, you were right there.
Yeah.
You had it to me before I finished the live. And I was like, I've been looking for this for so long. It's so helpful. I say this a lot. It's like maybe I'm like the feet on the ground out there for
Mhm.
every individual protesters their own feet on the ground. The audience or the viewers, the supporters, a window to what's going on right on the street. But what connects us isn't that we're connected in any way. We're not connected in any way. What connects us are the mass amount of viewers who are hopping around looking at. You're like the neural network. You're the brain. You're the neural network that's like,
Right.
go tell this protester, look out, because I just heard on the scanner, you might be in trouble. Someone might be coming for a lie from.
Right.
I'm not going to get into it. But you
Yeah,
guys have been
but
watching.
that's the key to the success is that everybody has your backs. Not, everybody in science in Chicago and Denver and Texas and Portland, and we all have you guys' backs. That is the key. Everybody supporting everybody, and everybody having their voice and finding their voice and just doing what they can do. And we're going to just lift you guys up and keep doing it. And whatever it is you guys need, we are going to make sure you guys get it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's so appreciated. Every support in all ways. Like if it is financial, if it is food, if it is information, if it is your
Right.
time, if it is just checking on us to see, are you doing? Are you all right? I've had times where I haven't gone live in a while, and people are just like, "Are you okay? Everything fine with you?" Just emotionally checking on
Mhm.
me. That's helpful too
Yep.
for me, anyway. I can
Yeah.
speak.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many different ways that we can support. We can be in people's lives, and I don't know if there's several different ways that you can help channels get out there and get out in the algorithm. There's several different ways, right? So
That's it too. Yes.
yeah, I mean, obviously hit the like when you come in every show, leave a little comment, even if it's a heart, even if you just go and just leave a heart. It doesn't matter what it is because it's interaction, right? With your
Mhm.
channel. Even when you have a lot of chats, right? There's a lot of messages in your chat. That also helps push out into the algorithm, right?
Right.
Subscribing, so there's so many ways that you can support all of you, all of these amazing auditors, guys. So find a way to support, even if it's just leaving a like. That's all that matters. And I will
Yes.
do a shameless plug. If anybody who hasn't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I really want to continue to interview these amazing auditors who are giving of their time, and it's a lot of time. This is not
Yes.
a paid position. This is a volunteer position. They give the time,
I want
it's a
to add something
labor
to that.
of love.
It's not all what you see either. A
Right.
lot of people are like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not doing anything this whole time." No, I'm overwhelmingly doing things this whole time.
Yes.
Just not where you can see it. I'm just not in front of the camera
Right.
at those times, but I am writing letters, doing research, connecting with connecting the dots
Yes.
and creating like calls to action to
Mhm.
create resources to help those of the protesters who have legal battles right now. There's a lot that's happening behind the scenes, and this is during
Mhm.
time where we're supposed to be resting or recovering from our normal jobs.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, because there's just so many different things. I mean, there's a lot of pokers in the fire, there's the whole part of this movement where, hey, we're trying to get the tax exemption, right, revoked. Okay? So that's one facet of it. There's another facet of hey, our First Amendment rights are being violated, all right, by these arrests and the swatting and the
Yes,
corruption. The film, I don't know if you guys have noticed, please definitely go and check out, because I know Streets he's been kind of doing a lot of the filming of the, Film the Police LA. He's been doing more on that channel recently. Go check that out. But there's all these different facets of all of these things that are coming together. The ACLU, the La Poubelle, and all of these things that are just all encompassing and can be all overwhelming,
it is overwhelming.
you
Yes.
know. Thank you, Sharon, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. um you know
Oh, there's a
another
I can see the chat. Sorry. Hey,
huh?
hey guys,
Oh,
see everyone in
can
the
you see
chat.
it? You can see it,
Oh
right? Yeah.
yeah, nice to
Yeah,
see
it's
so many hands.
amazing.
I recognize your handles.
Let me see. Mountaintops. It's the heartbeat. It it's the heartbeat movement in real time. That's exactly it. That is perfectly said. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. There's so many people in here right now. Holy cow. Thank you guys so much for showing
Sam
up for
Frank,
me and for
Real
Mindy.
Astral, Sharon T. I recognize so many of you guys. Thanks for coming over.
Yes, thank you. Sweet Lily Love. Sweet
Lily
candy.
Love.
We can't forget Sweet Lily Love.
Never will forget Sweet Lily Love.
Yeah. Well, I really I appreciate, and I know that everybody here and everybody that watches you, I appreciate so much your honesty, your transparency. I just, when we see so much deception going on out there and so many horrible things and different corruption and things like that. So, we all really do. We appreciate you and your pure heart and that honesty and transparency. And thank you so much for bringing that to what this movement is the opposite of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're secretive and abusive, and you're everything other than that. You're light, and thank you.
I really appreciate those words. Thank you.
So what do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what's the next big thing for you? No, I'm not even thinking what
Not
is it that you're super passionate
Oh, in my
about
life.
that yeah, what do you what is it that you're
So I was a fully formed adult before I met you guys.
I'll bet.
With my own passions, aspirations, and like
Yeah.
things that I liked to do completely different. I like this completely changed my life where now all of a sudden, like every free moment, it's like, oh, I got to get back to that person about this. And oh, there's another meeting at the court. Can I get there in time with it? It's like, that's what's taken over completely. But before this, my passion is singing and writing. I'm an author. I have another children's book coming out really soon.
Oh,
Um,
wonderful.
yeah, it's I work with kids, and I like to put like I like to take the things that I've taught kids over and over, things that
Mhm.
I've like found myself having the same lesson with many different kids. I like to take those lessons and turn it into an engaging kid's story. I love children's literature, and singing. I'm like I kind of have like a more Broadway style singing style, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes I'll get like little requests when I'm out protesting, whatever. It's I have to fulfill like my I don't know, like identity. I don't know. I have to be true to myself also, even
Yeah.
if I'm not protesting something serious. Like I also have to be true to myself. I've got a song in my heart, and
Mhm.
I I'm a creative writer and I love comedy, and just so those are the things that I really like to do outside of this, and I try to make time to be creative and do those
Mhm.
things. And there's some guilt. It's like, oh, why are you doing this when you need to be doing that? And it's like, oh, there's no Mindy for that if there's no Mindy to
Right.
fulfill myself.
How did it I mean, well, like, how did it feel for you to, like, then you have this creative musical kind of background, and then you meet Laura FM,
Yeah,
right?
she's the best.
How
Oh,
did how did that go? You guys need to collaborate. I hope you're collaborating behind the scenes. Maybe you guys are doing something, I don't know, We Are the World type stuff. I don't know, but
no, I've gotten a lot of requests to do something with Laura, and I've requested to Laura to do things with her too. She's just the best, and the more I know her, the more I get to know her, the more I really look up to her and respect her, and really just like honor her bravery and strength for all that she's been through and how she came out strong, so strong in the end, and that she uses that to try to make the world a better place. And I mean, every protester is trying to make the world a better place, but that she's taken this like first person perspective trauma
yeah,
and created it into like a force to try to help the people who are still in there and still
yeah,
going through what she was going through, and the
right,
bravery of going back to ground zero over and over, and yelling in the face of ground zero, the monster of her childhood. Every day that she's out there, she is facing the monster of her childhood.
right, right.
So I highly respect her. And did you see the barbecue music video that we made? So
I did.
we have been kind of like playing together. I would love to like for real sing with her. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget you can throw in Lori Plays from Clearwater. You guys can add her to that as well because she's always singing out there too. I love that. I enjoy it. I enjoy.
She's like singing she makes up the words to songs as she's going. I
Mhm.
have heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Send me a link.
Yeah, there's just so many people who are so entertaining. It's weird because it's not weird. It's just interesting because everybody's individual characteristics and personalities shine through, you know? Like when I see and watch like Jay from Denver, right? From he's in Denver. When I hear his voice, I, I okay, just so everybody knows, I listen to Jay before I go to sleep. Because I can lay there and I can just like I hear him talking, like it puts me to sleep. It's so soothing. It's so soothing. It's like everybody brings this little different, spice and personality to
Because
what it is you
we're all
guys do.
individuals.
Yes. We're exactly individuals.
So I'm like traumatized by that, the whole concept of having to like, because I'm as a teacher, like I
Yeah.
was a teacher before this and still am a teacher, but as a teacher, I'm very like, we this, so that, us that, I'm just like, my language is very communal for the
Yep.
classroom. And
Yep.
so I had to kind of retrain myself, and it's been hard. I've had some slip ups where everyone else is like, no, don't say that.
I remember watching you and Streets, I think it was Streets, right? That was with you when you went to the police station to do your report, how they would not do any, like they, yeah, I remember. And I remember, I remember this, you looked so terrified.
I was, and
You,
I've grown a lot since then, but it's terrifying when it's happening to you in the moment.
right,
For me, I'm seeing my whole like career flashing before my eyes because
right,
they can lie and take me in
right.
on a lie that is caught on camera from every angle, that they know is caught on camera from every angle,
Yep.
and they know it's just going to get thrown out once the judge sees the
Yeah.
camera from every angle that it was a complete lie. There's no consequence for lying. But meanwhile,
Mhm.
I would have that I got arrested, and then I would have, for every background check that I ever get for, it's like it's a
Wait,
what's a
hold
good
on.
word for what they're doing? It
Uh-huh.
should be illegal. It should be illegal is what they're doing. That's what I
Yeah.
have to say about
Well, here's the strange thing because I've thought a lot about this, right? So you got these arrests take place. These things happen. You guys call, they show up, nothing happens. Once in a, I think maybe what, 2 or 3 times something happened where somebody else got arrested, but it's very rare. It's usually the opposite. One of you
arrested.
guys
It looks like they got arrested and they get handcuffed and they
get a
don't
ride
even
home.
yeah, they don't ever make it to the police it's
Yeah.
all for show, and
But
it's
here,
so infuriating. I just want to sorry, I can't
but
back.
here's, no, you're fine. You're fine. But here's what I think about that. What do you think it's like? What does the district attorney say when he sees this stuff? Because it doesn't seem to me, I could be wrong. The judge isn't seeing any of this. It goes all the way to the attorney, right? To the district attorney who decides whether they're going to pick up the charge or dismiss the charge or not charge or whatever. It makes me sometimes think to myself, what are these attorneys thinking about all this? Why can't the attorneys turn around and be to the cops? Would you stop this BS? Look at the footage first. Why are you wasting my time? Why are you wasting my valuable, precious time in these stupid false arrests that show up on my desk that are for nothing?
3 times that I remember specifically, so I'm sure that happened many more times. 3 times that I remember specifically, one of the protesters was assaulted, once to the point where, like, Will's nose was, elbowed to broken and
Yes.
blood all over his face. So
Yes.
3 times assault happened on a protester that the perpetrator went back into La Poubelle, and the police made it very clear with their actions and their words that if the perp makes it back into the restaurant, then they're gonna turn a blind
They
eye,
can't
pretend not to see
yeah.
him. They went in, looked around. Oh, we didn't see them, and we're saying, "Look, I see them through the curtain. There they are, sitting right there. I have this on tape of us going. There they are, right there. I still see them. They're sitting there." And the police went, "Oh, I didn't see them." They go home, and then the perpetrator gets in an Uber and leaves it safely.
It's unbelievable.
The answer is don't protest anymore then. That's the answer. That's the
Yeah.
answer we were given. Don't protest anymore then.
Well, that's not happening.
It's
I mean,
it's scary, it's real, it's like heartbreaking for me is for some like all these people, I was watching yesterday, I was watching that same incident where Will came in and
mhm.
was like protected me in the police station. And I was looking at myself and I'm like, oh wow, like I got a lot of messages of people like, you're too weak for this, you're too scared for this. And I'm like looking at myself, I'm like, oh, I am like a little scared little bunny looking back just like 1 month. I am a little scared little bunny in there. And and that's because at that time everyone else had been going through this for a long time. They know, they expect this behavior.
Yeah.
They didn't at the time. The reality, and then I hear like we in LA and her experience when she had that first one where that where you learn that it's like this really.
Right.
And I was looking at her and I was like seeing myself, that my first time going in there myself. Now when I go in there I have a more realistic expectation of what kind of treatment I'm going to be getting. And but that first time it is heartbreaking, and I look at my old self, one old a month ago, And I'm like, wow, you know, there's been a lot of growth since then, actually, number one. But number two, like, yeah, that poor Mindy, she had her heart broken that day. That was, I'm like,
Yeah.
got scar tissue now.
Yeah, it does take a toll on you emotionally. There's no way that you can do what you're doing and not be affected by it. There's no way. It's just not possible. You're seeing it's happening, like there's that individual space that you hold for yourself, right? Where you are I'm just trying to think about what it would be like to be in your position. So there's that individual space where you are trying to be very cognizant of who's around you, what's around you. Is somebody, your head's on a swivel, you're constantly on the paranoid part of it. You have to be paranoid at some point because you're like, what's going on? What's going on? Because you have to have that spatial awareness of where you are in all of the chaos. Then
Right.
there's that perspective
There's the Chris situation
of
where they'll come up and hit you from behind.
right. Right. Then
Sorry.
there's the perspective of sitting back watching people that you care about getting arrested. I
Beaten.
mean, manhandled, abused. It's awful. I cannot imagine.
Or even just not even abused, but manipulated, like the characters that will come up, like the
Yes.
shady characters who will come up, and everyone in the chat is like, "Look out for that person!" Or "I saw them last week. They're tricking you." You know, there's a
Yeah.
lot of that to filter through too.
Right. And some of those people, I can't remember, I would, because I have two phones. I got a work phone and my personal phone. And I'll try to I'll be in one, I'll be in this one and this one, I'll be in two. And it's, and there are still people out there and this is another layer because like you said, there's some people that you can trust and you know who you can trust that's in your chat and they're telling you, I heard that on the scanner. I saw this. This person is over
Mhm.
here, but okay. And look out for this, look out for that. But then there's also those trolls out there. Osa. Hi, Osa. I'm sure you know who I am by now. But whatever, Osa. It's all good. But yeah, that those kind of people, they're trolling you. I saw in somebody's, I can't remember whose, and they were like, oh, the skateboard guy is coming around the corner right now. Be careful, watch out. It was just all BS. So it's a lot. It's a lot that you guys deal with.
Yeah. And I can't imagine. I mean, I'm very new comparatively to some of the other protesters, and I can't imagine what they're going through with having, developed an even
Mhm.
larger audience of, even if 99% of them are really helpful supporters who care very
Mhm.
much and sincerely, that 1% is a large number of people when you have a huge audience.
Right. Right. So what do you think what do you think is what do you think next is going to be the focus for you? I
You
mean,
know,
like really like is there a specific focus that you've got that you're
I
all
mean,
about?
I I'll always be writing books. I don't know. As far as that goes, I've got lots of little like singy things that doing singy things like original musicals and stuff that
Mhm.
I've recently kind of got in the last year been getting some of those kind of opportunities. None of them are big money makers or anything. The books aren't money makers.
Right.
It's just a passion
Well, if
that I
you I mean, are you keeping a journal, like a protest journal of some sort or
you can count my spreadsheets as a journal. I don't know. It's like goes day by day of incidents
I
and
will take that and count that as part. Yes.
not an emotional thing.
Yes.
But I didn't think that I was going to ever live stream in the beginning. I was just
Mhm.
going to be out there and be a protester and have not just you guys be a protester. It's not just, but be somebody where if people who were worried about being accepted were worried to come out, that they could feel like they could come out and make the
Yeah.
crowd bigger, make the visual representation of the people in the world who care a
Right.
larger number. That's what I was thinking. And then and I was not going to keep doing it beyond the testing center because the testing center was really close and convenient. I felt safe. I could run home. I could like go home and grab stuff and come back and go back and forth. I feel like every time I go to La Poubelle or the Blue Building, I have to pack like almost an overnight bag of stuff. It's not an overnight bag, but like it's got my
Yeah.
like umbrella for like I could open my umbrella and like create a shield around me that's would never be considered a weapon if the police found me, but that if they touch my umbrella, that it's like that they assaulted me. They don't have to touch me. They don't have to fling a cigarette at me or blow smoke in my face or whatever. They don't have to get in my face and try to intimidate me. I could just use this umbrella as a shield, but it takes up
Right.
the weight, the chargers, the like the clear goggles, the flashlight, the extra gloves, extra fingerless gloves to hand for free to the other protesters.
Right.
I'm just like, a little, I've got this
It's a
huge,
whole thing.
yeah. So it is tough now that it's not in front of the testing center.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that was a success. When I first
Oh,
started
for
going,
sure.
the testing center was open till like 11 at night. And
Mhm.
then, gradually it's closing earlier and earlier. Now they don't open. They have like the security guard in front during the day. And so I'm just kind of suspicious, but so who knows what's going to happen with the testing center. But the fact that they closed its doors, the fact that they shielded the windows is a big win for the world.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. It's a huge win. It's a win for the movement. Because here's the thing. You guys doing that, what you're doing is it's a freight train, and I've said this before on on the channel before. It's a freight train. It's out of control. You guys have so much momentum and the support of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are watching and supporting in every way, in any way that we can, right? And there's nothing that they can do. There's nothing they can do to stop it. It can't be stopped. It
And then at the
cannot.
same time, sadly, there are so many thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have no idea what's going on right under their nose. I didn't know most of what was going on right in my neighborhood, right a block away, right
Right,
5 buildings on the street where I live, five
right,
different buildings on the street,
right.
or about there. That it just was
Mhm.
never. It's all going on under not our everyone's nose.
Yes.
And the fact that this movement has grown in attention is is I mean, just the fact that everyone's able to broadcast this, in that we're
That's
now
it.
in the future, and that everyone has the ability to broadcast to a bigger audience, that it's getting momentum. But there's still too many people who don't
Yeah.
even know. Everyone who I tell specifically, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Scientology's that's a weird." I'm like, "No, it's like more than weird." And I start listing off the
Yeah.
things, and they're like, "Why hasn't the FBI checked it out yet? Why haven't they been raided?" And I'm like, I think they have been raided, but then it stopped because they're infiltrated into
Mhm.
so many government agencies, and the LAPD and not really the LAPD. No, seriously. And I go into it
Yeah.
more, and I sound crazy.
It does, right? Like when I had the exact same thing happen to me last week. And I said, and it was so funny because I stopped myself in the middle and I said, wait a minute. I know that this sounds very conspiracy theorist, very like, tinfoil hatty type stuff. But I'm like, and you know what I do? It sounds so crazy. I tell them, go watch Serge Delmar. Go watch Growing Up in Scientology. Go watch Miriam Francis. Go watch Streets LA. And I start giving them just all these YouTube channels. And it's so funny because I have had people come back to me and go, "Holy cow, I had no idea." And that is exactly what people, like you said, it's under our noses. We don't know. And the more eyes we get on it, the more eyes we get on this subject matter is the better.
I've
It's just going to continue
heard
to
more
grow.
about this from Laura, more specific things that make me
Mhm.
like, ugh, from Laura and from Serge than even from the documentaries.
Right.
Laura going down around the town, and she is like, something will remind her of, like, bring up a memory for her, and she'll share it. And that memory is just like, what?
Mhm.
You went through the other kids. She's like, not just me. There were like 80 to 100 kids in that group that happened to. I was like,
Right.
when I was there, she's like describing these moments, and it's just, yeah, watching. Laura and all her stories, Serge and all his stories. It's just every time they open their mouth, I'm like, what? Even more.
Right. It's very shocking because you just don't think it's almost like you think that it can't get any worse. Like, oh, I've heard the worst of the worst already. And then guess what? No, we haven't. And another story comes out, another perspective comes out, another channel gets started. It's it's very, and it's crazy because you think eventually you're going to say, "Oh, I've heard it all." And guess what? You haven't. You haven't.
Yeah.
It just goes too deep. Goes too deep. Yeah.
But it's yeah, it's so much. I just feel like
It's a lot.
and I go to
Yeah.
these meetings just to like I'll hear about a meeting going on, a city meeting or a public hearing or something, and I'll go just to if I hear in time, I'll go just to be like an extra body to show
Mhm.
the people at the meeting that more people in the world care about it. Just an extra body
Right.
is important. And then I get there and then I'm like, Mindy, you need to talk. I'm like, okay, let me just, I need to take a couple notes. I don't even help me chat.
Yeah, but, you're doing like, I'm telling you, you're doing amazing. There's so many people out there who just adore you and wanna support you, and, it's a joy for us to see everybody's journey, and I do believe on some level for all of us, the former ex-Scientologists, and for all of us never ends. This is a personal journey because there's somehow, some way, there's something about this cult that has either enraged us or we identify with some of these stories that are being told and shared finally, openly shared and discussed. And it's pretty it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome to see the journey happening in front of our eyes.
For me,
Great.
I'm infuriated about the child abuse and the elderly
Yes.
abuse. I'm
Yeah.
infuriated about the abuse of city resources. Um,
Mhm.
just how their tax exemption status allows them such power to create to collect properties where they can exploit
Mhm.
more people exploit they have this extra money. There's like an unending amount of extra money
Right.
to abuse uh the people in the cities like where the here in Los Angeles everywhere just everywhere that
Mhm.
they are it's like they're a like a virus.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. I think you hit that on the head
There's
because
no way to stop it's like it feels like there's no way to stop them without getting that tax exemption status. um
that's the one thing. That is the one thing.
it
That's
would
the one thing.
cripple the predatorial stronghold.
Uh-huh. 100%. They had to start paying taxes. Are you kidding? They'd be bankrupt within months.
With all the properties that they have and acquire. I mean, and just like
That's
the
right.
like taking, the
Mhm.
elderly's social security checks and like they're just they're on every level. It's everywhere you look. There's another it's
Yeah.
but in the beginning, I was just like, "Oh, yeah, they're bad." I didn't have all of the details. The more
Mhm.
details I had, the more I was like, "Oh, I need to do more. I need to do more
Yeah.
to, um"
Yeah. No,
it would
you're
be
d
my power to
you're you're gonna you're this eventually for you is probably something that down the line, I'm sure, and somebody actually mentioned it, and I meant to star your comment, and if
know.
I'm really sorry, but I forgot to star it. I meant to, and then I don't know, we got to talking about something else, but you know, you'll be able to you're a writer, so it'd be amazing for you to write a book one day on how you were a part of, bringing this cult down.
I
It would
mean,
be
hopefully from that
amazing.
perspective in the future, this the success is it was victorious, and that I'm in the position to write something like
Mhm.
that. But I don't, I would be really proud to have played, even the smallest part in something that grandiose and
Right.
I've been asked before, it's like, why do you put so much time into this? And it's like, I feel like, it's hard when you say, oh, that's bad. But I'm just one person that's like up against such a huge entity. But when I see like such a grassroots
Yes.
progress from just the average Joe of all walks of life, making progress, I just want to like keep helping to roll that boulder forward, like
Yes.
the hill, like everyone's rolling the boulder up the hill,
Right.
and some people get too tired and they have to stop, and then another person will come in. That's like metaphorically how
Right.
it looks to me.
Right.
I can't feel good about watching everyone and it's making
Hmm.
and not like trying to. Me too. Like I
Yeah.
care too.
Yeah, that's, there's always going to be someone from my perspective and what I've seen, there's always, if when you're too tired to carry your burden, there's people that are behind you that are going to come in and help you carry your burden, and assist you and lift you up, right? And that's what all of us are here to do for you guys. And I hope all of you guys see that. I hope all of you guys understand how important for all of us out here watching and supporting you guys. Like it's for us, it's whatever we can do. It's whatever ever anybody can just, participate in whatever way they can. And it is, we care deeply for a lot, for all of you that are out there doing this. And
So that is so essential
yeah,
for every one of the protesters to see that support is
yeah,
so essential
yeah,
because there are so many moments where it's like, am I even making a difference? It's like,
but you
it's,
are.
you know what I mean? It's like from this
Yeah.
position in time and space, we can only see what's in front of
Yep.
us. But you guys have the bird's eye view. You see all through all of the windows, and
Mhm.
it's just that really is really empowering. So those little
It
messages that
really
you
is.
send of encouragement are so helpful, at least to me, and I'm sure to many others. Um,
Oh, thank you.
Speaking about the
Thank
book
you so
writing,
much.
I was asked. I put a video about this up. I think just yesterday or maybe even today. I don't know. All the days are squishing together. Ever since
Right.
the days squished together, they're like, oh, you should write a. I was asked, what would you say to somebody is who might be joining a cult? How would you need to write a book about how not to join a cult? And I was like, this is pretty much
Right.
like if you feel really strongly in one direction and uh, everyone in your life who you respect, who you look up to, everyone who
Mhm.
you care about, who cares about you, is coming to you saying, I'm worried for the way you're thinking. I'm worried for your safety. Listen to them because the stronghold that happens, it's a very slow takeover. You don't notice it before everyone else notices it. So this is why we have a network of people in our lives who we care about each other. That's why it's
Yes.
important that we have
Yes.
we all care about each other, is because we need to sometimes trust trust those of us who we care about, who care about us, that they see more than we do sometimes. And like in this, it doesn't have to apply to a cult. It could apply to a unhealthy abusive relationship. It's a slow stronghold that brings you into the control of another entity that
Mhm.
is oftentimes dangerous, or
I agree.
so it could be a job, it could be whatever it is. If everyone in your life who you love, who loves you, is coming to you and saying, "Hey, I'm scared for you," listen to them.
Right. And it's very important, I think, also to kind of even for us out here, right? For all of us at home that we're not necessarily able to be out where you guys are. Believe it or not, and I want to say this to everybody watching right now and whoever watches it later, please remember, take care of your own self as well. Yes, it's important to support these auditors. It is, but watching some of the things that are happening and taking place, and the abuse and the like physically, like us sitting here watching what some of these things that are happening to these individuals that we love so deeply, it can affect us as well. So remind yourself, take a mental health break. take a day off of social media, take a day off of YouTube, and for us to also not forget ourselves and to give ourselves that little bit of a break, because believe it or not, from that perspective, we still can get burnt out too.
Yes.
So yeah, everybody make sure you take care of yourself
I get a lot of
first.
messages like, "Oh, you didn't have you say you don't have time to do this and that, but there I saw a little funny video you made." It's like, yeah, we have to take care of
Mhm.
ourselves too, and
Yeah.
I also need a brain break from it all sometimes. I need to turn it all off. There's what do they say on the airplane? You have to put the thing on yourself before you put
On
it
your
on someone else.
before you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you do the child. Because what's it gonna help the child if you put it on the child and then you end up passing out anyway? Like, I mean, there's a
Yeah,
priority, thing to everything, right? But we have to take care of ourselves. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't help take care of anybody else.
exactly. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
be full first. Like
Yeah.
you have to be fulfilled, and then you have some of yourself to give. What is there
Right.
to give if you don't have anything? And if you're
Yeah.
depleted, depleted is the word I was looking for.
Hmm.
And one more thing about book writing, I approached Will about this, and just because of there is a void in access to information about like how to interact with the police and what our rights are and all this stuff. I mean, his response is that it's the policies are so different from place to place that it's hard to write kind of a book in
Hmm.
about that. There are some general things that like I'm learning now that I wish I knew before that I could put into some kind of um, a quick guide, a quick this is not a commercial, but the book that the one of the books that I wrote is a dating safety guide, and it's all in flowchart format. So like it's all like you are asked a question and then you're sent to a different page depending on your answer. Different prompts will
That's pretty interesting.
like
I
if
love it.
thank you. It took me a long time to make it, but it's like if this, then that. If like here's your question. If your answer is yes, go over here. So that
That's cool.
style would so perfectly apply to instructing people through interactions with the police. Like, did this happen? Yes. Okay, then it's a different. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I presented that to him. I was like, I think that like with your information, you have the knowledge base, and I can take.
Genius.
I was like, I am uniquely qualified to do this because I know how
Yes.
busy you are, and I'll do all the work part of it.
Yeah, but
Just
it
need to
makes so much
interface.
sense because, every situation is different. Every
Yes,
situation is different.
yes, and that's how my mind works. I'm like Virgo to the nth degree,
Oh,
and and so I
I
think
love it.
if I were to be
Love
able to
that.
like absorb or even like get the sources of like, I could
Right.
apply it to and help. It could be like specifically things that they will call out for to protesters, like in
Be
protesting situations.
Yeah,
But
because it's very situational. The
yes.
answers to these questions on how you should answer, how what the answer is because everything is extremely unique situational stuff.
So, for example, I went into the day that Mindy was a little scared bunny rabbit, right? Little
Uh-huh.
Mindy
I know, I saw you. You were,
screaming
like,
and
up
screaming like,
against that wall. You were like,
yeah,
I felt so bad.
I
I
felt
saw that happening in real time. it flipped me out.
I watched it yesterday, and to see myself and like to know where like now I wouldn't be as
Yeah.
scared, or now I'd be strong, I'd have more of the words, right?
Right,
It's because I had
right.
none of that at the time, and so like the growth, I'm really proud of like I can say this. Who cares about the ego? I'm proud of myself and the growth that has happened.
Sure.
And I said it in the beginning, like bravery doesn't mean that you're not scared. It means you're scared and you do it anyway. But
Mhm.
if we go back to that moment, and they're like, I'd like you to sit outside at one of the points they said, when I was in there for a different reason, or you need to turn off that camera. I know
Mhm.
now that I can say, is this an order? Like that they will try to make it sound like it's an order, but the words are specific to making it that they're just really requesting it, and that's technically okay. That they're not denying you your rights because they didn't order you to do it, but you don't know that they need to order you to do it. So like
Mhm.
things like that, where if I knew even just these simple things, like the reasoning is because there's other people here in the lobby. you know, the things that you can bring up, that these are my rights, and are
Mhm.
you denying my rights, and like saying what to say back, that are those key terms, what are those things that
Yes.
Will knows how to say. I want to
Yeah,
put
we
a
be
resource for everyone.
because our whole lives we have, and Dan actually makes a good point. You could see Mindy come to the realization that the cops were not her friend. And that's so true because our whole lives, what were we always told?
I'm the
That
teacher.
they are
What did I
our
teach you
friends.
today?
They're our friends and they're here to do what?
Help
Serve and
us.
protect us.
As a teacher to kids, I teach that to them to this day.
Right.
It's hard for me now, with the child that I work with, to say the things that, because I don't lie.
Right. So it brings us to this whole other thing where we're like, we need to know the language. You're 100% right. Just like Scientology has their own little language and their own little lingo that we don't always understand or know the deep meanings of some of them. Same sort of thing. Like you said, we need to stop just accepting what they say as blind, this blind faith that we have that they're right. A lot of them don't know the law. A lot of them, it's legal. It is legal for them to lie to you.
Yes, and also,
They can lie. It's no
I
big
had
deal.
no idea, the amount of training that they need isn't as much as I thought that they need, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot there would be, if I were to write this book, there would be like the beginning of like learn, like from the
Hmm.
getting a better perspective of, from who we're talking to when we're
Yeah.
talking to the police, and
Hmm.
what our rights are, and what the tactics, the manipulative language
Yeah.
tactics that you might run into. And I don't want to come off as like I hate the police. I have family members who are police, and I hope that they're like the good ones. That I would love for all the police to be the helpful kind that are really out there to help you.
Yeah.
It's tough when the environment that they're all in, the only way you can get to a certain level is by, owing, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That what I want, like it's a toxic environment, that
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
takes a really strong-willed person to get through it
Yeah.
without becoming corrupt. I'll say that.
Yes, yes. Garrel, thank you so much because we did. Thank you for putting that link in there last week when I had my conversation with Shannon from Chicago Scientology Audit. Go check out her channel as well, guys. Make sure you sub in to her channel. She was talking about you can go to that link and it's called Know Your Rights. All right. It's called Know Your
Um,
Rights. It's
can
put out by the National Lawyers Guild.
can I just ask Astral and Dan Brink to email me that link, please? Sorry,
Yeah. And you
the
can
short-term
get
memories really get
and
scared.
you can actually get a PDF version, an online PDF version. And Garrel, if you have that link, because I was thinking you had the link to the PDF as well. If you have that, if you can also throw that into the chat, that'd be awesome. Um, let's really quick before we go. I know we got to wrap it up. If one second, make sure. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Um, SPTV. I want to just kind of give a good shout out for the brand new the SPTV Foundation. Make sure it's in the description of this video, and it will be there in every video going till the end of time. I have I can't say all the protesters, but I probably got about 95% of all the protesters in the link to the description of every single show. They will always be there. And as new ones come along and I find out about them, I'll add them in the future as we go. But I just wanted to really make sure that everybody goes and subscribes to Mindy. Go subscribe, like, follow, share her content. Absolutely. At Mindy Willens.
On everything, on every single platform, anything. That's what it is.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. There's the PDF, guys. That is the PDF version of the Know Your Rights booklet. Definitely check that out.
I definitely want to check that out, and I would definitely use it as to inform if I were to make some like a user-friendly guide that's a flowchart format. Like, who wouldn't want to learn from Streets himself? Like, he watching him in action is just it's mind-blowing how it's like how do you it's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, because it's the educational part of it. That's what, and that is why I love to watch Aaron. And that is from growing up in Scientology, Aaron Smith Levin. And I love Streets LA. I love to watch William Good because both of them are natural educators, whether they know it or not, whether they believe it or not, they both are natural educators. As so yourself.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's why so many of us gravitate, to content creators like that. And thank you for being here today. Thank you for, just being a part of allowing me to kind of just get a snippet of your life and talk about what's going on and what
I hope we can do this again. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to come on or come back, you know how to reach me, girl. I'd
love to just like do a call to action if it's possible. Guys, when you're watching people's live streams, you don't have to go backwards through all of the live streams and consider that homework. But when you're watching them from now moving forward, and you see a little moment like that, don't think that someone else submitted the timestamp. Send it to independentprotester@gmail.com. Just the link and the moment and any other details that would be helpful, but like minimally, just the link and what time on the video did it happen. Really helpful. Police interactions, anything that you think could be used as evidence to help this cause. You guys are essential.
Yes, they are. They're the part of the team that they back you guys up. I love it. I love it. Remember that, guys. Call to action. You don't have to screen record or anything. Just as you're watching, check that timestamp, send the link to the stream you're watching with that timestamp, and that lets them know to go and check out that. So yes, it's important. We got to continue to build our case, right? Continue to get closer and closer and closer to revoking this tax exemption. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna shut them down. We're going to shut down the cult of Scientology, and we're going to continue to expose the corruption in all of these, the LAPD, Chicago PD, wherever there's corruption in the police department, it's going to happen. It's going to get them shut down. Yeah. Anything else you want to promote or anything?
I'm going to put a lot of videos up of just like just my own personal stuff. I just still want to keep flourishing as an individual, the person who I was before I met you guys. That's what fuels me to keep doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Is feeling fulfilled in the other areas of my life. So
yeah,
I guess just subscribe and just show me some love. That's all.
Exactly.
Only if you feel like it, guys. Consensual love, enthusiastic, consensual love.
Yeah. And Jane says, keep your vibration high. Absolutely.
Yes.
High vibration. Always keep it at a high vibration. No low vibration energy at all. So thank you again, Mindy.
Give me a big smile so that I can use this as my screen saver. Okay, there we go. I got it.
Okay. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Appreciate all of you. Have fun with my outro. I think it's hilarious. You probably recognize it from Mike Brown, but I had to steal it. Couldn't help it. I love to laugh, and we need some laughter when we're dealing with some of these very, very heavy subjects. And as I say in every show, at the end of every show, do not forget to please remember to spread love and kindness wherever you go. Bye, guys.
Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help.
We were in the middle of our tournament where my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there. I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head.
He or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions.
So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't.
Being a Scientologist, you look at someone and you know absolutely that you can help them.
And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn.